Okay, today we're going to do a test 2, chapter 2, test review. Okay, everybody was given one of these. And if you see, this is multiple choice, okay? Your test may or may not be multiple choice. Okay, I may leave it multiple choice, I may not, so don't depend on it being multiple choice. Okay, what fractions or write fractions to represent the shaded and the unshaded portions? There's two answers. So if there's no multiple choice, you know that you better write two answers or you just get it like half right. Okay, on this one right here, the shaded portion
Would be 5, 6.
5 out of 6, right? Shaded is 5 out of 6. Unshaded,
It's 1 out of 6.
1 out of 6. So that would be number
One.
1 here, if it is multiple choice. Okay, number 2, you have to look at your page to see better. Can you tell that they're divided into thirds on your page that I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay. Each one of these is divided into thirds. Even though there's 6 pieces here, you got to think about how much each one is divided by, okay? This is thirds. How many thirds are shaded?
3.
Total.
A total? 5.
Total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 thirds total shaded. How many not shaded? 1. Okay. And your answers are on the very back page. If you flip it over, you'll see the answers. So anytime during this, you can look back to make sure that we did the right answer. See, number 2 is 4. So you could see that we did do it right. Okay, number 3. In a microbiology class of 47 students, 25 are graduate students. What fraction of the students are graduate students? 25 are
22. Oh, wait.
out of a total of 47, right? So 25 are out of the total of 47. Okay, the next question is a little trickier. See, this said how many are, and it said what fraction are. This one, of 164 trees in the park, this is our total. 13 are coniferous trees. What fraction of the trees are not coniferous trees? So it didn't give you the number that are not. 164 minus 13, 151 are not. This many are, so this many are not. So it's 151 out of the total. 151 out of the total 164.
Would be number 1.
That would be number 1. If you look on the answers, number 4 is 1. Okay, number 5. Identify the numerator and denominator. Numerator is
The one on the top.
5. Denominator is 29, the bottom. 5 over 29 would be 5. Denominator, numerator 5, denominator 29. I'm going to make it bigger for the video. Even though you can't see this row, you don't need to. Make it a little easier for the video to be seen. Okay, list the proper fractions. What's the difference between proper and improper? Proper is what? The top is smaller. Okay. Improper, the top is bigger or the same. It's either greater or the same. Okay. So the proper ones, 9 is not smaller than 7. 5 is smaller than 12. 7 is smaller than 15. And 3 is smaller than 17. So those 3.
5, 7, and 3.
Yeah, 5 12, 7 15ths, and 3 17ths. That would would be number 3. Right?
Right.
Okay. Improper. 10-4 is improper?
Yes.
Yeah. 2 over 28? 2/8? 51 over 23?
Yes.
Yes. 14 over 14?
Yes.
Yes. So those 3, which is number
Number
4. 10-4s, 51 over 23, and 14 over 14. Okay, fill in the blanks to complete the sentence. The fraction 18 over 60 represents what of the how many? How many of the how many equal parts? 18 of the 60 equal parts. See? There's 18 out of 60. So it's 18 out of 60 equal parts. So that's number 4. Write the mixed number as an improper fraction. How we do that?
Multiply.
Multiply first.
Multiply.
We have 4 and 5/7.
And
I'm
then
going to
add.
write it a little bigger so it'll be easier to see on the video. 7 times 4,
It's
28
plus 5.
is 33, right? The bottom stays on the bottom. 33/7.
So number 1.
Number 1. And I probably will not have these multiple choice, so make sure you know how to do it. Write the improper fraction as a whole or mixed number. You've got 23/6. How do we do that?
You turn
Divide 6 into 23, or you could say 23 divided by 6. How many times will that go?
3 times
3
3.
is 18. How many is left over? 5. The remainder, don't put R. The remainder goes on top, and the 6 is still going to be our denominator. It's still going to be down here. This outside goes right there. So 3 and 5/6, which is number 2. Okay, number 30. Find all of the factors. Okay. What you want to do is make it like a rainbow. Do like 1 times 30. Will 2 go into it?
No.
Into 30?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
2 times what? Is 30.
15.
15. Will 3 go into it?
Yes.
3 times what?
10.
3 times 10 is 30. How about 4?
No.
5?
Yes.
5 times what?
6.
5 times 6. And that'll be the middle, right? So it's like a rainbow. When you get down, you should have a number matching it. Sometimes the middle number will be times itself, like 36 should just have a 6 in the middle. Okay, decide whether this number is prime or composite, 53. If it's composite, what will divide into it? No, prime is itself in 1. Composite means something will divide into it. I think that was prime. I don't think any number will go into 53. Okay, let's look at number 12. Yeah, it's prime. How about number 13? Is 23 prime or composite? That's actually prime also. How about the number 51? Is it prime or composite? If you add it up, what does it add up to? 5 plus 1 is 6. Won't 3 divide into that? This divides by 3. It's 3 times 17, actually. So make sure and do the test on it to see if a number will divide into it. This one is composite. Okay, determine whether this number is 30. Determine whether this number is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, we've already done 30. We did 30 up here, huh? So we already know that 2 will, 3 will, 5 and 6, and 10 will. So we already know that. Let's do a different number, other than 30, since this one, we already know that. Why don't we do the number, 70? Okay, will that divide by 2? Yeah. How about 3? Remember, you add up the digits, 7 and 1, nothing, and 7. 3 won't go into 7, okay? How about 4? The last 2 numbers, well, there's only 2 numbers anyway. 4 goes into 80, right? This is 10 less. So it's not like 4 won't go into it. How about 5? 5 will, because it ends in a 0 or 5. What was the rule for 6? The rule for 6 is it has to divide by 2 and 3. It divides by 2 but not 3. So it's not going to divide by 6. How about 7? It will divide by 7. How about 8? No. 80, it's not 8 less than 80 for sure. Okay, how about 9? What's the rule? You add it up and see if it divides by 9, just like 3. You add it up. 9 won't go into 7. How about 10? Yes. So it'll divide by those numbers. So you might want to review your divisibility rules to make sure that you know, instead of doing all the dividing, you could just, use the rule and see if it divides or not. Okay, write this fraction in lowest terms. 40 over 45. What will they both divide by?
5.
Yeah, they end in 5 and 0. So let's divide by 5. Let me make it bigger. Divided by 5 on top and bottom gives you what? 8 over 9? Okay, that's as far as you can go. They won't divide by something. How about 30 and 80? What will they divide by?
5.
You could do 5, but 10 would be easier. 10 just drops to 0. 30 over 80 divided by 10 is 3/8. Okay, it says here, write the numerator and denominator of the fraction as a product of prime factors, like this. How you write it, it's a product of primes. And divide by the common factors. So you would do like mark 1, 2, and 2 off the top, 2 off the bottom, like that. First, we need to make these into prime. 8 as a prime divided by 2 is 4. Divided by 2 is 2, right? So 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 16 divided by 2, 8. Divided by 2, 4. Divided by 2 is 2. So 16 is got 4 2's. So we're going to have 3 2's on top and 4 2's on bottom. Now it says to divide by the common factors. So divide by 2, divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Actually, when we're dividing by 2, we're putting a 1 there every time. So we have 1 times 1 on top is 1, and there's just a 2 left on bottom. 1 times 2 is 2. So the first one right there. Okay, 77 over 32. What's 77 divided by? 7 times 11, huh? Does 11 go into 132? Remember how the outsides add up to the middle for 11? It's 11 times 12, huh? 132, you divide it by 11, it's these two numbers here, it's 12. Now divide that by 2 is 6. Divide that by 2 is 3. So it's 2, 2, 3, 11. Okay? The 11 is the only thing that you can cancel. So you got 7 over 12. Number 4 right there. Does everybody understand that okay? Yeah? Okay, write the fractions in lowest terms and then determine if they're equivalent or not. Okay, they may be in lowest terms already. Remember how else you can find out if they're equivalent? Remember if you multiply, 7 times 5 is 35, 63 times 1 is 63. They're not equal, are they? I think they're already in lowest terms, because that won't reduce and that won't reduce, so they're not equivalent. How about these? Are they equivalent or not equivalent? We could reduce 18 over 27 probably. What can we divide by? 9? 18 divided by 9? 27 divided by 9? So this is equal to 2/3. So 2/3 and 2/3, they are equivalent, right? Or you can multiply and you're going to get the same thing. You get 54 and 54 when you multiply. But this is what it wanted you to do, is reduce it. And find out their equivalent. Okay, multiply, write the answer in lowest terms. 2/5 times 8/9. Is there any dividing we could do? Can we divide the 2 and 8? No. They're top and top. It has to be a top and a bottom. Okay. Can't do any dividing, just multiply straight across. 2 times 8, 5 times 9. Okay, and that won't reduce because we couldn't divide anything on the top and bottom. So we can't divide now. So it's number 3. Okay, number 22. We have 6 over 7, 2 over 5, and 3 over 4, all multiplied. Can we do any dividing there? The 2 and 4, divide by 2, divide by 2. How about the 3 and 6? No, because they're both on top. Only one top, one bottom. So we can't do any more dividing. So let's go ahead and do our multiplication. 6 times 1 is 6 times 3. 18. 7 times 5? 35 times 2. 70. Or you could have went 10 times 7. Still 70. 18 over 70. I think we could have divided the 2 and 6, huh?
The 2 and 2.
Right here. We could have, no, we could have done that, because see, we could still divide by 2 here. We could have divided 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3, times 3 is 9. 7 times 5 is 35. That's the same as dividing these by 2. It's any bottom and any top, as long as it's not top, or bottom. Any bottom, even all the way over here and all the way over here. So this is reduced all the way, 7 over 30, or 9 over 35. If you got this, it wouldn't be reduced all the way, and it says lowest terms. So make sure that you reduce it all the way. If you get to there and you see you can reduce, go ahead and keep reducing, because you might have missed something like this. Okay, multiply 33 times 1/9. Okay, we can divide by a number, right? What can we divide by? 3. We can't divide by 9, but we can divide by 3. 3 into 9 is 3 times. 3 into 33? 11. So we have 11 ninths, which is improper, right? So let's divide it and get a mixed number. 11 divided by 9 goes 1 time. 1 times 9, how many is left over? 2. So 1 and 2 ninths.
No.
I'm sorry, it's thirds, huh? I'm sorry, I messed up. 1 times 3 is 3. Back up, huh? 11 times 1 is 11. 1 times 3 is 3. Now we'll do 11 thirds instead of 11 ninths. 3 into 11. 3 times. 3 times 3? 9. There's still 2 left over. 2 thirds. 3 and 2 thirds. Which is number 1. 3 and 2 thirds. Okay? Find the area of the rectangle. If you have a rectangle, how do you find area? Length times width. Right? Base times height, length times width. A times B, right? A is 5/6 of an inch, and B is 6 inches. You're going to multiply them. You're going to do any dividing first? Divide by 6, right? So it's 5. They're both inches. Inches times inches is square inches, right? 5 square inches. So that's number 1. Okay, solve this word problem. A warehouse stores 1,000 different inventory items, of which 3/10 are perishable. How many of the items are perishable? How do you find 3/10 of the total? Multiply. You have the total. If you want to find 3/10 of it, do 3/10 times the total. You want to do some dividing?
Yep.
Divide by 10. Divide by 10 is 1. Divide by 10, it just drops 1 0. You have 100. 100 times 3. So 300 items are perishable. But watch in case it says are perishable or are not. Read your word problems real careful. Okay, 26, we have a circle graph. It says last year one family ate fast food 576 times. You need that number. The circle graph shows the types of food eaten for the year. Find the number times fish was eaten. Fish is 1/16 of the time. So how are you going to find out how many times that is?
576 divided by 16.
The total? Yeah, times how much, which is dividing it by 16. So it's 576 divided by 16. Okay, let's see. 16 times 2 is 32, right? What, 16 times 3? 48. Because we need to do our division. How about 16 times 4? 24 to 4, 5, 6. This is too many. Okay. So we're going to use times 3. For the first number is 48. 17 minus 8. 5. Bring our 6 down. It doesn't come out even, does it? Oh well. 16 into 56. We'll have to go 3 again, huh? That is weird.
The 17 and the.
Oh, that's 96, isn't it?
I was gonna say.
I was like, there's no 56, it's weird. Okay, 17 minus 8 is 9, I was doing 8, I don't know
What
what
were
I
you
was,
doing?
I don't know what I was doing. 8 and 7 is 15 is what I was thinking, but it wasn't right. Okay, 96 will be more than this, right? That was 4, let's try 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 5, 6, 7, 8. How about 16 times 6? 36. That's the one. 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's times 6 to get 96. So it's 36 times that fish was eaten. Okay, the following table shows the earnings for the Juarez family last year. Use this information to answer this question. If 1/20 of their total income was spent on clothing, okay, the total income was spent on clothing, how much is spent on clothing? You're gonna have to actually add their whole income. You need to find their total income for the year. It didn't tell it to you. So you need to add both columns and then add it up. Okay, the last numbers are pretty easy. There'll be 5s or 0s. 10. Did I get the first column yet? 0, 5, 10, 15. Did you guys add it and get the same number? You haven't added it yet? Then we have to add both of those columns up to get the total income for the year. And I'm hoping that's right. I've got 25,150 for the total income. Now, if 1/20 of it was spent on clothing, you're gonna have to do that times 1/20, right? Or divide it by 20. 25,150 will be divided by 20. Here we go again. 25,150. 20 is an easier number to divide by though. 20 go one time. Bring our 1 down. 20 into 50 is 2. That's 40. Bring our 5 down. 20 into 115. 5 or 6? 5. 6 would be 120, huh? 5 is 100. And then bring a 0 down. 20 into 150. Almost 8. That would be 16. That's too many, huh? 8's too many. Let's 7. 7 times 0. 7 times 2. Okay, 10 left. So you actually need to add a 0. Put a 5 there. So it's like $1,200, $12.57 is what they spend on clothing. That's a lot to spend on clothing, huh? Unless you just love clothes and that's what you spend all your money on. You spent, yeah, you made 25,000 if you spent 1,200 on clothing. I think it's a lot. But that's how you get it. Remember to put the decimal if you have leftover numbers. Okay, next one, find the reciprocal of 19/11. flip it over, right? Okay, divide, 8 divided by 5/8. What are we gonna do to it?
Put a one and flip it over.
Kind of the improper fraction and then multiply it.
Right, eight
No
over one.
impropers though, it's 8/1, yeah. And multiply by the reciprocal, flip it over. Oh, 8s aren't gonna cancel. Okay, 8 times 8, 64, 1 times 5 is 5. Need to turn it into a mixed number. 64 divided by 5. 1 time. 5 into 14. 2. 2 times 5 is 10. How many we have left over? 4. 4 goes on top. Fifths is still on bottom. 12 and 4 fifths. Number 2. Okay, 3/8 divided by 4. What do we do with that? We still have to multiply it by the reciprocal of the second one. You never flip that first one, okay? Leave the first one always. Multiply, flip this over. This was, 4 is the same as 4/1. Okay, it just said 4. But we had to make it 4/1. Now we're gonna flip it over. We have 1/4. Okay, can we divide?
No.
The 4 and 8? No. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 4 is 32. And that's as far as you can go. 3/32. 3/32 is number 1. Okay, the recipe for chocolate chip calls for 3/7 pounds of chocolate chips. So every recipe you use about half a pound. If a bakery wants to make 42 cakes, how many pounds will they need? Are we gonna multiply or divide?
Multiply.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna multiply. Think about it, if you use like 3 eggs for each cake and you're gonna make 5 cakes,
You're gonna have
you
that.
gotta
in
do
there.
how much you need times how many you're gonna do. So we have 42 cakes, and each one is using 3/7 of a pound. So times 3/7. We can divide the 42 and 7. What?
That's one.
7 goes 1 time, 42 is 6 times 7. Divided by 7 is 6. 6 times 3? 18. Over 1, it's just 18. 18 what?
18 pounds?
Yeah. You use 18 pounds of chocolate chips, which makes it pretty much sense because we do it's about half of a pound. It's about half of 42, so that makes sense. Multiply to find the exact answer, and then express the answer as a whole or mixed number when possible, and simplify. So make sure you simplify all the way. To multiply mixed numbers, we have 1 and 7/9 times 3 and 3/8. Okay, what are we going to do with those numbers? Improper. Multiply 9 plus 7, 16. 8 times 3, 24 plus 3, 24 plus 3, 27. Okay, you want to do some dividing before we multiply those numbers? 8 and 16, divide by 8, divide by 8. And 9 and 27, what are we going to divide by? 9, divide by 9, 1, divide by 9, 3. 2 times 3 over 1. Simplified all the way, it'll just be 6, right? So that's number 1. Number 33. 36 divided by 3 and 3/5. 36 divided by 3 and 3/5. Okay, what are we going to do with the numbers first? 5 times 3, 15 plus 3, 18 fifths. 36 over 1. We need to leave our 36 over 1 like it is. Change it to multiplying by the reciprocal. 5 on top, 18 on bottom. Do you want to do some dividing first? What's 18 times 2? 18 times 2 is 36, so we divide by 18, right? Divide by 18 is 1. Divide by 18 is 2. If you couldn't see that, you could have divided by 3 or divided by 6. You could have done it slowly. You could have done 36 over 1 times 5 over 18. Okay, if you could only see, maybe it divides by 6. Let's do that. Divide by 6 is 6. Divided by 6 is 3, right? You could still divide again. Divide by 3 now. Divide by 3 is 1. Divide by 3 is 2. So you get the same thing as you got here. So even if you can't see the biggest one, you can keep going. Okay, 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. So it's just 10. So 36 divided by 3 and 3/5 is 10. Okay, are there any questions? Is there like some of the homework problems you want to go over? Anything from the homework that you missed that you want to do, or? Yeah, was enough teaching. But I helped, they came early, and I helped them. Yes.
I have problem with the fractions. I didn't understand
Which ones, all of them, or?
the rounding off part.
Rounding? Okay, is there a problem that you can tell me which page and which problem?
All of them.
We need one of them anyway.
Well,
Like to estimate,
8. Yes.
are we on 2.8, or what are we on?
That's the one I didn't get to. 2.8 on number 8.
Number 8 on 2.8? Or which one?
On page 177.
2.7? Okay, that's page 167.
177.
177. Okay, so it's 2.8. Page 177, number 8. It says 6 times 2 1/3. They want exact and they want estimate. Okay. It didn't tell you exactly how to do the estimate, so you could go, I would go to the nearest whole number. If it's a half or more, go up to the next number. If it's not a half, just drop it off. On this, 6 would stay the same for your estimate. 2 1/3, the 1/3 small, it's not even a half, so I would leave it at 2. So just do 6 times 2. Your estimate is 12. Then the exact, you'd leave the 6 as 6 over 1, and then change this into an improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, 7 thirds. Okay? So you have, you could divide this before you multiply. divide by 3, divide by 3. That's all you can divide, so 2 times 7 is 14, over 1 is 14. So the estimate's not gonna be, you know, super close, but you'll be able to tell whether it looks right or not. So like on number 10, on the same page, number 10 has 5 1/2 times 1 1/3 times 2 1/4. You need exact and estimate. Okay, on the estimate, if it's half or more, we'll go up. This is a half, so we'll go up to 6. 1/3 isn't up to half, so we leave it at 1. And this isn't a half, so we leave that one at 2. So our estimate's just 6 times 1 is 6, times 2 is 12. Our estimate's 12 again. Okay, now the exact, we know we're still going to have our 2, 3, and 4 on the bottom. And we're going to turn these into improper. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now before we do all that multiplying, we can do some dividing. Let's do some canceling. We can divide by 4, get rid of the 4's, divide by 4 is 1, divide by 4 is 1. And 3. You can divide by 3's here. Divide by 3 is 1, divide by 3 is 3. Now that's all we can divide. 11 times 3 is 33. 2 times 1 is 2. Then we need to turn that into a mixed number. 33 divided by 2. There's 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract. Bring our 3 down. 2 into 13. 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 left over. So 1 goes on top, 2 on bottom. There's our exact, and here's our estimate.
Got that one right.
Okay? On the ones that you had homework on that had the recipe, like number 26, it said to do 1 1/2 times the recipe. So you're going to multiply 1 1/2 times the ingredient, how much of each ingredient you needed. On the flour, it said you needed flour. Flour says 1 3/4. This is for flour. Okay, it wants an estimate and an exact also. For the estimate, this is a half or more, so go to 2. Half or more, go to 2 again. So about 4 cups of flour is your estimate, but that's going to be more than you really need. Okay, we're going to turn these into improper to do our multiplication. 2 times 1, 2, plus 1 is 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. There's no dividing that you could do, so 3 times 7 is 21, and 2 times 4 is 8. 8 goes into 21 2 times, right? There's 2, which is 16, and there's 5 left over, so 5 eighths. 5 goes on top, 8 goes on bottom. And that's your actual how much flour you need. So you do 1 1/2 times the flour. On the 27 and 28, they have like half of the recipe for number 27. It says half the recipe. You're going to do half times what you need. If it was 24 or something, it would be 1/2 times 24, which is 12, like that. You could divide it by 2, or you could do 1/2 times it. Okay, 28, it wants 1/3 of everything. You could do the amount times 1/3. If it was 24 or something, you would have 24 divided by 3 is 8. So what you do is 1/3 of the recipe, you do 1/3 times the amount. Half the recipe, 1/2 times the amount. Okay? Some people had trouble with number 32, the wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow said that the longest dimension is the handle length. That's the amount of wood you need. The longest dimension was 61.5 inches. That was like, you have wood on both sides. Let me see, you got a wheelbarrow. Not gonna be much of a artist here, but your wheelbarrow goes down to your tire. You got one piece here and one piece over there. This was your longest dimension. It told you to find the amount of wood necessary to make 182 handles. So you do 182 handles, 182 times the 61.5. Because this is for one handle. So you do that times how many handles you have to make. That's how you get the wood for number 32. On the next page, number 40, it said you need to go, a race car driver needs to only go 1/3 as high as the low profile jack. The low profile jack, you have to look to see how high it goes. It says the low profile jack goes 15 1/16 of an inch. So if you only need 1/3 of that height, you do 1/3 times that height. That'll give you how high it needs to go. And then on number 42, this one was like number 40. Number 42, it said a flooring contractor uses 24 2/7 of a box to cover a kitchen floor. Okay. If he does 24 homes, how many boxes will he need to cover all of the floors? All the kitchen floors. So if you, this is for one kitchen floor and he's doing 24 homes, make sure you multiply those. Do 24 2/7 times 24. So it's times 24 homes. Okay? And that's all the ones that people have asked me questions on. Is there any other questions that you can think of? No?